Hello, everybody, and welcome back to Girls Guide to Greatness. I am so excited that you are here with me. We have Miss Ella Winter as a special guest interview today, and she is here to tell us all about how to build authority in your niche and find high-paying clients. Ella Winter is the coach's coach. You're going to want to hear from her. She's got this amazing strategy, and she's going to give us a few tips, some of her main tips that we can take away with us today and start using organic marketing to our advantage in our business. So I am so excited that Ella is with us. Welcome to the show, Ella.
Hi, Rebecca. How you doing?
I'm amazing. Thank you so much for being here.
No, thank you for inviting me. I'm really excited to be here.
Yes, this is going to be so much fun. Ella and I have been talking offline and having a blast getting to know each other. It turns out that we are both in Scotland, which is kind of crazy. It is a small world after all, but I'm super excited, Ella. So how did you become the coach's coach? I love that, by the way, the coach's coach. Very catchy.
Thank you.
Yeah, how did you become that? How did you start out?
How did I start out? Well, I basically actually started last year. It's not been the longest journey, but it's been the best one I've done. I lost my job in Corona, and I actually used to work in the music industry, and I used to work with big rock stars like Kiss, and that's what I actually did. And that was always my dream job, that's what I wanted to do. And when I actually got into the job that I was doing, I was like, actually, I don't think this is what I want to do anymore, and really realized that my passion wasn't that. So I'm still a singer-songwriter and I do things like that in the music industry, which is awesome. But I knew that I wanted something bigger, I wanted to help people achieve stuff in their lives. And I've always been business orientated. I've got a business degree. I was always had businesses anyway. And I wanted to do something that was online because obviously that's the way the world was going. Mm-hmm. And yeah, it just really interested me, and talking about freedom lifestyles with people and achieving that myself and helping others achieve that as well was really something that I was passionate about. And it all started, basically got my heart broken. And I thought to myself, all the things that I want to achieve right in my life after that was like, okay, I want this freedom lifestyle. I want to be able to do all these things and help others do the same. And I wrote that all down, and that sort of led to, right, let's do an online course. And that's how it started. So I was like, okay, I'll buy a course to learn how to make courses and sell them. I created a course to help women get over heartbreak. And I did the course. I spent a lot of money on this course. And then at the end of the course, whilst I was creating it, right at the end, this mentor says, right, now you need to put all this money into ads. Right? And I'm like, oh no, I didn't budget for this. Right? I didn't budget for this. I didn't know that I had to do that at the end. So it flopped because what I was doing is I was putting loads of money into ads and not understanding organic methods and marketing. So I actually then went away from this whole heartbreak thing and thought, what else can I do? Because that's not what I wanted to do. And I'd kind of got over the heartbreak and I was like, right, what am I really passionate about? And started from scratch again, right? So then I looked into affiliate marketing, understanding other people's products. I bought loads of products, courses, coaching programs, tried to understand what everyone was doing. I ended up accumulating all this information and all this stuff for myself. I thought, well, why can't I do that? So I'd got the degree, I did all the coaching program, etc. And I thought, okay, who can I help? So I thought, I've basically created this online entrepreneurship for myself. Why don't I coach that? So I actually originally targeted online entrepreneurs.
Wow.
So I was the coach for online entrepreneurs. But what was happening there was that it wasn't niche enough. So online entrepreneurs could be in any niche, but also could have any sort of business, jewelry businesses, makeup, anything that they feel can be done online as a business, could be an online entrepreneur. And it wasn't niche enough. It wasn't small enough as a niche, right? And a target market. So I did well with it, but I thought, I really need to niche this down. So once I started getting sort of 5 paying clients and building my business, I thought, right, now is the time for me to be able to change it because I felt congruent. So I felt congruent with the fact that I'd already helped entrepreneurs get somewhere. Now I can focus, and I've been able to be successful as a coach. Now I can focus on helping coaches get to where I went.
Yes.
Where I am now, or where I was, right?
Yes, I love that. Oh,
Yeah.
that's amazing because that's exactly, it's almost like we have similar journeys, and
Oh,
I
really?
haven't experienced the heartbreak, but and I truly I understand that, and I'm so glad that you were able to recover from that and really start focusing on you and your dreams, which is amazing. And how cool is it that you found something that's not just benefiting yourself, but you get to help others make an impact? It's
I mean,
crazy, right?
exactly that, and that's what it was all about. It started from the breakup stuff, and I wanted to help
Yeah,
women get over heartbreak. So there was always that part of me that was like, I really want to help other people not have to experience what I've just gone through and help them
right.
with the methods. But actually, then that still leads in the same way because even as an entrepreneur, as a coach, you're still helping people, but making money and changing their life in a different way. So
Yes,
either way, I was going to help people.
that's
But
amazing.
it just naturally led to the coaches, and thank God it did because I love every minute of my every day.
Oh my gosh, that's so great. And it makes me light up because I totally understand that. When I was able to retire from my corporate career, I had a successful career, and people think I was, they still think that I was crazy for walking away from that and pursuing this crazy dream of traveling the world and becoming my own business owner. But I'm so glad that I did it. And even though in the beginning I stumbled and I fell and, it was kind of crazy at times, but I figured it out. And I'm so glad that it happened because now, like you said, I'm not just benefiting my life, but now I'm helping others, helping inspiring others and motivate others, and actually share with them the steps that I did to be successful at a certain level. And then as I continue to grow and my business is going to those next levels, like 6-figure and then 7-figure, it's exciting to see because I'm like, oh my gosh, if I can do this, I can show other people how to do this. And then that's why I'm glad you're on the show, because it's like you're going to share a few of your tips to help people get started with organic marketing, finding their niche. Because, oh my gosh, I know we hear this a lot, but it's so important. Okay, actually, let's talk about that for a minute. Can you share with the audience why it's so important that we need to niche it down? And I know I say niche, you can see it either way.
Yeah, no, it's cool. Still the same word, doesn't matter how
Yeah,
you
yeah.
pronounce it. So how to help people find their niche or
Yeah.
why?
And why is it so important? Yeah. Why do they need that first before they actually start, pursuing that?
Sure. So a big thing that I tell my clients, right, when they first start out is I want them to chase one chicken, not two, because the likelihood of them being able to catch that one chicken compared to both of them is a lot better, right? So
Mm,
so that's what I always say. And the reason being is because you don't want to be finding like the online entrepreneur story I just told you, where I was trying to find too many people to target. When
mhm.
you're trying to find too many people to target, you end up, one, you end up not being able to actually understand who you're targeting and you get lost in it. But another thing is that if you are not passionate about what you're talking about day in, day out, why would you want to talk about it every single day for the next however long you're going to be a coach for?
Right.
So that's really important. And a good strategy to actually do to figure that out is writing down achievements that you've had already in the past, personal and professional, and really sort of numbering them based on what you think is the most important and which one you feel congruent with and actually can help somebody get from A to B. So if you list that down, you can actually figure out yourself just by writing that down alone, and it's not a complicated strategy, but it works. But like I say, if you don't chase one chicken, you're chasing two, you're not going to catch either of them.
Mm. Yeah,
Right.
that's so
That's
true.
why it's important.
Yes, absolutely. Okay, so they're building their niche. They're finding out truly who they want to chase, or in this case, who they want to serve, who they want to help. And
Mhm.
so, and this really can go for anybody who is like you said, online entrepreneur or just an entrepreneur in general. But I know that I'm a coach and I work with a lot of different coaches, and coaches seem to be a huge thing right now, because there's, like you said, all sorts of types of coaches. You can be a relationship coach, a meditation coach, a health coach, a business coach, and so there's like all this coaching and mentoring going on, which is great because I truly am a huge advocate of coaching. It's changed my life.
Yeah.
And we were talking about that before the call, actually, how I'm ready for a next level type of coach. Like I want to change up my coach. So it's going to bring me to that, next level of my life and in my business. And so I think it's always nice to look at those things, so look at your niche, look at who's your coach, who's helping you, and how they're helping you. Because like you were saying before, you're putting all this money into ads when really you didn't need to do that. So let's talk about that for a minute, because
Yeah.
I think that's how I started too. I was thinking, oh, I need to run ads. I need to do this. And I was doing everything, organic and ads. But then I figured it out very quickly, like you, Ella. Ads are not everything. It's good for maybe a quick boost of trying to get your list built up, because I did build my list up a little bit that way. But to get real hard sales and money in your bank account, oh my
Yeah.
gosh, it came straight down to organic. So can you share a few tips on how the listeners out there can get started with their organic marketing?
Yeah, of course. I mean, tip number one would be choose your platform, because what I find a lot of people do is they are spreading themselves too thinly on loads of different platforms and not actually mastering one yet. So, you know, the mastering Facebook would be number one,
Mm-hmm.
mastering LinkedIn, and then obviously we've got this Clubhouse coming out at the moment,
Yeah.
and doing in Instagram and all these things. Right, choose one. Okay, my advice would be choose Facebook first. That's how I built my business. And what you want to be doing, and where a lot of people go wrong, is they go into loads of groups and then they write loads of content, and then they expect people to go into their world and find them because they've written all these posts,
Yeah.
right? And actually, what they find then is no one's actually interacting with them, because what people do in Facebook and platforms like that, they put their guard up very quickly.
Mm-hmm.
So what you want to do is you want to build authority, and the way you're going to do that is you're going to have a professional profile on your Facebook. You're going to have great content on there, giving loads and loads of value that you can give, and never be afraid to give too much value. You give as much value as you can, right?
Right.
And I know a lot of coaches go wrong with that. They say,
Mm-hmm.
"Oh, I don't want to give too much away, but just in case they won't buy into me." Actually, look at
Mm-hmm.
it in the opposite way. You want to give so much value that people want to stay with you all the time,
Right.
right? So what you want to do is you want to introduce people into your world. So yes, you might go into Facebook groups and interact with people and network, but actually you want to do is add them into your world. So if you've got great content and you're adding people, then look, you've already got them into your world. It's like inviting them into your website type thing, right?
Mm-hmm.
So once you've got that, so look, adding the right people, number one, making sure your profile's professional, getting good content on there,
Yep.
valuable content, and then getting into people to interact with it, interact with their posts, and then make sure that they're interacting with yours. Once they do, your engagement's going to go up if you're adding the right people,
Yes. Yes.
right?
Yeah.
And once you're doing that, it's a case of then how are you actually making conversations?
Mm-hmm.
Because that's the organic strategy at the end of the day. It's not complicated. What most coaches teach, it frustrates me because it becomes too complicated.
Mm-hmm.
So actually, my unique USP, if you like, is basically how simple I make everything, right? Because that's what my clients say to me. They say, I've got clients that spend 25 grand on programs, right? And they pay me like the amount, and it's way less than that. And it's exactly, and they come to me and they say, well, I've learned way more with you in a week than I did with the 25K, just because you make it so simple.
Right.
Now I can process the information,
Yeah.
right? So
Yes.
organic strategies is very much about building that
Mm-hmm.
world of yours, building authority, and then the compound effect will happen naturally for you. So if you have, a great amount of content, you have good people on your profile, you're building your authority, the compound effect happens.
Yes, I totally agree with you, Ella. I experienced something very similar because I was like you. I was just taking courses and classes and learning how to really be the expert at what I do. And in that, they were saying, okay, if you really want to build your audience and the right audience, like you said, find that one platform to master. And then just go from there. And so what I did, they told me, they said, take 1 year and commit to 1 year and post once a day, at least minimum. And so that's what I did. And within a year, less than a year, my following skyrocketed. I started getting people looking at me instead of me looking at them. Like I was not chasing anybody anymore. They were finding me, asking about what I'm up to, and really wanting to be a part of my world. And I was like, okay, this is a good sign. Something's working here. And then I actually did a training in my Facebook group recently that I let them know. I was like, I said, yeah, I do paid ads sometimes just to help build my list, but all of my clients come from social media marketing. Like literally, I just make a connection. I reach out to them. I said, hey, I love your profile. Been following you for a while. I think I could really add on to what you're already doing. I've got a great idea. If you'd love to talk to me, just, let me know if you're interested. It started out like that. And then it just kind of blew up after that. And sure enough, everybody was like, oh, this girl called me, she messaged me, she reached out to me, she's interested in me. And I started just inviting people, whether it be a Facebook group or a free training I was doing or whatever, or if I was giving away a free gift or something like that. I said, hey, I got this brand
Yeah.
new book. For the first week, I'm giving it away for free. And so, like you said, I try to keep those simple strategies because I knew for a fact that I did not want to create another job for myself. I came from a job. I can go back to a job. This
Yeah.
was supposed to be the dream life. I can get up when I want, work with who I want, invite to come hang out with me, and just have fun. Like on this podcast, this is something I enjoy doing. This is not
Yeah.
forced. It's easy. It's simple.
Exactly.
It's fun. So I always do that with my clients as well, and say, hey guys, think about the kind of lifestyle that you really want here. You don't want another job. You want to make sure this is simple and streamlined, and keep it fun and engaging for
Mm-hmm.
yourself and for your audience. So I think these are really great tips that the audience that are listening right now can take away, because these are powerful strategies. You don't really have to, like you said, have to spend a ton of money to try to get the right audience. If you can niche down your message, if you can just reach out, make those daily connections, they're good as gold.
Exactly that. I mean, most people that come to me are people that have said, I've tried the funnels, I've tried this and that. And it's like, don't start before you've even built the foundations. Most people are already on the ladder before the ground's even put together.
That's good. Oh, wow.
So, so I say build those foundations first and put the puzzle together and then start climbing.
That's
And
good.
that's the thing. And I'm glad you mentioned Facebook groups, because that's something that I hugely like value, and a lot of people don't tend to leverage it enough,
Yes.
even within my mastermind, people come to me and say, like, what are you doing with your group? Because it's working,
Mhm.
and it's just a case of getting the questions, nailing the questions when people join your group is huge. Getting people to understand that you have a lot of value to give. So adding things into the units, the testimonials, things like that in your group,
Mm.
super important. And just getting loads of value in there and getting people into it. People don't care
Yeah.
how many people are in there. What you want to understand is, and what I notice a lot of people don't do is, or do, is they're not actually adding people into the group because they haven't got enough people in there.
Mm.
So you know what I'm finding? So they'll have like 50 people in there, but they're quality people. Rather
Exactly.
have quality 50 people than you have
Yes.
loads of people, thousands of people, but yet then none of them give a shit what you, sorry,
Yeah.
none of them,
No, that's
none
good.
of them care what you
Yeah.
none of them care what you're doing or
Mhm.
what you're selling. They're not going to buy from you. So
Right.
I would say that it doesn't matter if you've got 2 people, as long as there's somebody, they're your proper clients,
Right. I love that. I'm so glad you said that, Ella, because I'm not really big into Facebook groups. I'm starting to, build mine, and it's not one of my main projects, but I have it because it's a good thing to have. Like you said, it's a great strategy. It offers value. I can build my list and, offer good value to my people. And so mine, I think, is like a 40 something group, and it's slowly building, but
Okay.
I'm not focused on that. However, the people that are in there, they enjoy the videos that I do, the training videos that I do. They actually partake in a lot of the invitations that I put out and a lot of masterminds that I do. So I know that those people are actually listening, they're watching, they're engaging. And so, like you said, I think that's a good point. I would rather have a few good ones than a whole lot of not so good ones in there.
Yeah. And I
And then
think
just
people
oh
think,
yeah, go ahead.
sorry, it's just that people think that their authority is not building if they haven't got loads of numbers in there,
Right. Yeah.
So another key thing is obviously the questions that you have. The questions that you have when people join are
Mhm.
key, because, and that's why I call my business the key, because I say that most of the time.
Oh,
So it's
okay.
the key. The key is, make sure those questions are directed to what you want to ask people. So challenges, or do you want to book this call, and giving them those
Mm.
options can really help you start booking calls as well with the organic strategies.
Right. I like that because I have been playing around with the questions, because I don't consider myself to be a huge pro when it comes to Facebook groups, but I'm learning. And so I start to, change up my questions a little bit, and I have been getting a little bit better response. And I tried, and another thing I do is I do a lot of what they call funnel hacking. And I do group hacking. And so what I do is I follow other people to see what they're doing. I follow really experienced people. So if I'm not good at Facebook groups, I follow someone who is, and I read their questions. How do they have their group set up? And what kind of things are they posting that causes engagement? So I'm really like paying attention to that, and I bring some of those things over into what I do.
Yeah, brilliant. That's the
And
way to do it.
just like you said too, with the testimonies, I didn't even think about that. In my group, I have all my units in there, but I haven't posted any really awesome testimonies, and I have some. So I think that's a great thing. I will add it.
Yeah, do it, do it, do it.
Is there anything else that you would recommend for someone getting started? If they're a coach out there or want to be a coach, and they want those high paying clients. So when we say high paying, in my mind, it's like, when I first got my first high paying client, it was an $1,800 client. It was, that to me is a high paying. And then later on in the year, I got my very first 5-figure client. To me, that's a high paying client. So that's what we taught. Is that what you're thinking, Ella? Are we on the same
Yeah,
page where we're thinking about high paying? Okay. So for those people out there who are thinking about becoming a coach, who are a coach and want to go to the next level and get those high paying clients, are there any tips or strategies or anything you would recommend?
I mean, the strategies itself, right? We could go on for hours. This
Mm-hmm.
is the thing. This is the problem. There's so much to it, but it is simple. What people do wrong is they overwhelm themselves and they do too many free trainings, they do too many courses, and then there's so much conflicting information, and then they just get overwhelmed and go, oh, why am I still not getting paying clients? I've got funnels, I've got this. But if you haven't nailed the foundations, like I say, then no
Yeah.
one's going to know who you are and what your funnel it does. So
Yeah.
there's no point in joining these sort of things until you build the foundation. So that's number one. The thing is that I would say hugely, to be honest, for my success was get a coach. If you want to
Uh,
be a coach, get a coach.
Amen.
Unfortunately,
Yes. Love it.
unfortunately, that's kind of my biggest tip, because you need to follow the blueprint and what somebody else has done to get to where you want to go. And that is life in general. Like, if you want to be
Right.
successful as a dancer, follow a successful dancer. If you want to be an
Yes.
actor, then follow a successful actor and how they did it. That is life. So if you want to be a successful coach, don't think you're going to do it without a coach, because you're not. I don't know.
Yeah.
I personally, correct me if I'm wrong, don't know any really successful coaches that haven't had a mentor prior.
Oh, right. Even the great
So
Tony Robbins has his own coaches. I mean, come on.
it's just exactly that, like every coach has a coach, but every successful coach has a coach. And
Mm.
one thing as well is make sure the coach has a promise and a guarantee. You don't want to be paying
Mm.
25 grand, even 5 grand, or even less. You don't pay any money to a coach that does not have a promise and a guarantee,
I love
because you
that.
don't want to come out of that program with nothing.
Yeah.
With everyone that I work with, I say to them, look, you work with me for 3 months, I will guarantee you 5 paying clients. If you don't, for any reason other than not doing the work, get it, then I'll carry on working with you free of charge.
Oh, wow. That's amazing. I love that. And see, I'm always looking for things like this that I can actually incorporate into my business too. And I love that. So how they offer the guarantee and the promise, which is really nice. And I have to say, when you were saying that a lot of coaches make the mistake of doing way too much, that was totally me. And because I love creating programs and doing all these different things. And I love, there's different facets of my life, where I love health and fitness. I love this, I love that. And it's like, okay, that's great, Rebecca. But like you were saying, don't chase the two chickens. You've got to be like honing in on that one. And as soon as I
Exactly.
told myself, okay, Rebecca, what's the one thing that I want to do? That's like literally when things started clicking, and I actually started getting paid way more money, which I love, of course. So I wanted to make sure I told the audience that. And that when I started out, as far as what you're saying, get a coach, it's so important. That is a major theme on this show, Girls Guide to Greatness, because that's how I started my business. I got a business coach and it changed my life like so drastically. When I first met her, and I'm sure my audience has heard the story before, but one of the very first questions that my coach had asked me, she's like, okay, so what are you planning on doing, selling, whatever it is? Then I said, well, I've got this really cool 3-month program. It's going to be this, this, and this. And I'm giving her all the details. I'm super pumped. And she's like, okay, great. So how much are you charging? And I said, oh, and then I got really quiet. And I said, 197. And she's like, what? No, 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 no. And so from that point on, she started helping me program my mind and my confidence, and building my worth up to understand I'm worth more than $197 for a 3-month coaching program. And started
Yes.
thinking, like, she's like, Rebecca, you need, right off the bat, this is our very first conversation. She's like, Rebecca, you need to be charging minimum $5,000. Minimum. And I'm thinking, oh my God, because I know starting out, it's like, okay, who's going to pay that for me? What do I know? And so it's that self-worth, self-confidence thing, right? Talking to us. And I think it's so drastically important that people are listening to this, know that having that person in your ear who doesn't even know you from Adam, but can instantly help you build up your confidence, build up that, certainty in yourself and in your products and services that you're offering. Because I think we sometimes lose that. I think we forget how amazing we truly are. Like you said, Ella, you recovered from this heartbreak. You went out and you sought out, the best in these courses and things, and you asked the right questions so you could find the right solutions. Like you were focused on that, right? So you actually went out and did this amazing thing. Not a lot of people can say that. That's
Yeah.
amazing. It's powerful. It's a great story. And that, and now you've had some success from that. And then so people forget about how awesome they are. That's awesome, right?
Yeah, for sure. I think that's really important. Another tip as well is definitely sharing your story, because people resonate with that. When I first started, I was in debt. I just lost my job. I just lost my boyfriend. We were
Mm,
going into COVID. I had just lost my flat. I lost everything
oh
pretty
my
much.
gosh.
And I had an option. You had two options. I basically said, well, it's either going to let me, like, it's going to defeat me, or it's going to, push me. And it pushed me hard. Like
Yeah.
I fell on this journey rocketing up because I didn't want to be that other person,
Yeah.
and who I am now. And that's why people come to me and say, well, I haven't got a budget, or I haven't got this. I had nothing when I started. So I never allow anybody to say to me, I haven't got a budget, or any excuse they use. Pretty much, they either don't believe in themselves, they don't believe in you, or they don't value the program.
Yeah.
It's
That is
nothing to do with
amazing.
budget.
Right.
It's nothing to do with
Exactly.
budget. They don't believe in themselves, they don't believe
Yes.
in you, or they don't believe in the program.
Yeah,
Right.
absolutely.
So, and that's key, so sharing your story is a massive one on your profile. And also just not believing in anyone else's limiting beliefs.
Yeah, absolutely. That's exactly right. And I want to throw a little bit about money in there too, because I know that sometimes people are hesitant about spending money on a coach and thinking that they can figure it out on their own. Guys, girls, like seriously, you are going to spend way less actually, because what's going to happen is that your coach is going to help you identify places where you don't need to spend money, where you do need to spend it. It's going to help you strategize better, help you plan better for the long run. Then you're going to get your money tenfold back. I'm telling you. So
Yeah.
invest that little, but I think, starting out, as you're starting out, I would say like 5,000 to 10,000, and then going up from there, because as your business builds, you're going to want to elevate and, reach for a higher level in your business. And so like for me, that's where I started out, was that 5,000 to 10,000 level for my coach. And now I'm ready to invest even more because I already know the importance. I'm ready to make 7 figures, but I need someone who's already done it, who's an expert at this, and who I can play off my ideas, and who can support me and encourage me and help me down the right path, so I don't make those mistakes by doing it by myself.
Yeah, for sure. And that's exactly the same as me. I started my journey in March, but actually really I didn't start my journey with my coach until sort of August time.
Mm,
So I struggled from March to August,
yeah.
having achieved nothing. And then, well, some things, but only small amounts, like little sessions and things. And I see people trying to do all these like workshops, etc. And it's just like, just stop. Just stop doing these things. Go and get yourself a coach. Learn the blueprint. That's the only way you're going to succeed. And plus,
Ah.
you're going to do it a lot quicker. That's another thing,
Yeah, you're
Um,
exactly right. So they're spending the money anyway. It's just in the wrong place. So shift it. I love that. So shift it over here, get
mhm,
detailed, drawn out plans on exactly what to do, and forget
mhm,
about all this other stuff right now. They're going to tell you what you need, what you don't need. I love it.
mhm. And they always say to me that I'm really blunt, but I am. Don't bother being a coach if you don't want to get a coach. Literally, that's
Exactly.
the way I
Yes.
see it. Yeah.
Absolutely. I totally agree with you, Ella. Oh my gosh. I can already tell you, audience, that Ella and I will be working like again together, because I love her attitude. I think we have definitely bonded over this podcast.
Yeah.
We were just talking up a storm before we even went on to do this interview. So I'm super excited. I made a new friend and a new colleague in this.
For sure.
And Ella, I just want to say thank you so much. And can you tell the audience where they can find you, how they can get connected with you?
Sure. So it's Ella Winter on Facebook. You can add my profile, send me a message. It's the Key to Your Coaching group, Facebook group, if you want to join that. I add a lot of value in there. I'm even adding a new audiobook, exactly how you can get clients. So go ahead and grab that. Where else? Started joining Clubhouse. That's huge now at the moment. So if
Yes.
anyone's on there, follow me. It's Ella Winter on there. And that's pretty much it at the moment. I'm not doing
Okay.
anything on Instagram, or I do LinkedIn if you want to join there. But
Okay.
Instagram, I'm also part-time musician. So if you like music, follow me there.
I love it. Okay, we're gonna have to talk about the music because my daughter is she's
Sure.
a singer, rapper. She produces all of her own music, and she just dropped her first EP. She's all excited. So we're gonna have to
Oh,
talk about
cool.
music here pretty soon. And then Ella, last but not least, are you running any kind of like groups or courses, or do you have anything to offer for the audience, or anything going on in your world that they might be interested in?
Yeah, I mean, at the moment, it's mainly just my one-to-one stuff. I'm noticing clients are mainly getting their results from that. So
Nice.
yeah, I do a 90-day program. It basically is to start from coaching to no paying clients, even if you have a few paying clients, to really escalate you to getting to that level that you want, so you can go to become a full-time coach, really. Um, and yeah, I guarantee and promise 5 paying clients. Like I said, find a coach that's got a promise. That's mine. And yeah, what else do you need to know?
That's that exactly. That I
Cool.
love this. Okay, so people reach out to Ella if you need a coach, okay? And if you are becoming a coach or you want to become a coach, make sure you talk to her first before spending thousands of dollars somewhere else, okay? She is your go-to girl, and I'm super excited that she was here with us. I'm going to be sure to continue to follow Ella, and yeah, I'm super excited you were on the show. Thank you so much.
Thank you for having me, Rebecca. I really enjoyed it. Hope to chat
Absolutely,
to
this
you.
was a lot of fun. All right, cheers everybody, and we'll see you on the next episode.
Bye, guys.
Woo! We did it!